Welcome to Living Mirrors with Dr. James Cook. My guests this week are Wiler Noriega Rodrigues and Tamara Garriga. Wiler is a traditional Shipibo healer working with ayahuasca. He's worked as head shaman for some of the most reputable retreat centers in the world, including Arkana in Peru and Soltara in Costa Rica. After many years of experience, he opened his own retreat center, Ayahuasca Spirit. Tamara is a Spanish healer whose background is in psychology, and she and Wiler work together to provide ayahuasca retreats both in Peru, but also in Europe. I personally had my own first experience of ayahuasca with them both. It was a very positive experience, and I really hold them both in high esteem. As I'm sure you'll see in the conversation, they both have incredible integrity and a real desire to help people, which makes them incredible to work with. I feel a real sense of trust with them, which is absolutely crucial when you're doing this kind of work. So today we talk about everything ayahuasca. Hope you enjoy the conversation. Okay, I'm here with Wiler and Tamara. Maybe we can begin with your kind of personal stories of how you both came to end up working with ayahuasca.
De mí, en realidad no tenía.
So he's saying that he never thought about becoming a shaman in his life. That was not his goal in any way, but he had an accident with his eye and he couldn't see anymore. So once that happened, he decided it was a good idea to start working and learning from the plants, because he just thought, I have no profession and I'm not going to be able to get a good job, because it's going to be very hard for me to do something without seeing. And then he just thought, okay, maybe I can actually start learning from the plants. And then he started, and then he just thought it would be a really good idea to help other people and then to be able to support his family. So that's how his story started. And as for me, I never imagined this kind of thing. Like, I never read anything about ayahuasca, never knew anything about medicine, plants. None of those things were in my world at all. But I'm quite adventurous, so I just thought I wanna, like, for some time I was receiving this kind of message. I have to travel for a year. I didn't know it was a message at the time, but now I do. And yeah, so I started to travel. I started to travel through South America, and different magical things started to happen to set the trip. And when I got to Iquitos, I was gonna leave, and I was supposed to, I was being called for the medicine from Colombia, but I couldn't get to it. And suddenly in Iquitos, the people from Pol stores just kind of appeared in my house because they needed a translator, and we started to talk, and suddenly I was in this center where this ayahuasca thing was happening, and I had no idea what it was gonna mean in my life. I knew it was nice because I liked the atmosphere. I wanted to smoke everywhere, which is very much allowed, and even a condition to do ayahuasca there. And in a free space, without walls, in nature. I had these things in my head, but I didn't know how to put them together. And suddenly I just, I ended up there. I guess, blessing or something. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned that Wiler wanted to kind of learn from the plants, and people refer to ayahuasca as a plant teacher sometimes. Is that how he thinks about them?
Yeah. Cada planta son maestras.
Yeah, it's saying, yeah, I do think about them in that way. And he's saying that every single plant is a teacher. It's a teacher on its own, basically. And if you start dieting plants, it's not just you connect with these plants and that's it. You actually commit to the plant to be for some time in the plant's condition, kind of thing. So if they want you to be very clean, eat very clean, have clear thoughts, they ask for these things to be more and more connected. And he's saying that when you, then it's a source of information. It's when you're doing these diets, then you connect to the spirits of the plants, because they are all they all have their spirit. And then these spirits are the ones who teach you. they tell you, like they give you the power, the knowledge, the wisdom of the plants. And he's saying if you can diet any plant, like even ayahuasca, you could actually go and diet ayahuasca and she would teach you. Even when you do like the retreats and you go to do retreats, this is one of the important conditions to go and do a proper retreat. Like you have to follow a previous diet so your body is as clean as possible, and while on the retreat you have to still stick to this clean diet. Even after the retreat is very good to do this, so you keep on embracing and allowing this knowledge to settle in your body, in your soul.
Right. And so with the ayahuasca retreat, I think a lot of Westerners think of it as they're turning up to get the ayahuasca and have the experience. But as you say, they quickly realize that there's a whole diet that goes along with it. And then when you talk about dieting plants, these are other plants, right? Not just ayahuasca. How does a plant diet work if someone was to do that?
Vuelvo a preguntarle bueno, que toma ayahuasca, no solamente es.
He's saying that this is very important about the diet when you drink ayahuasca, because from the ayahuasca diet it comes a deeper healing, because it's a natural plant and it requires some things, and it heals mentally, the soul, the body, everything. So it is important to diet before and after ayahuasca, so you can actually, even after, like you can actually feel what the ayahuasca is doing in you, because the more we put things in, the more we accumulate other kind of energies. So the clearer is the senses, let's say, the more you can actually understand like new thoughts, new feelings, and they can settle better. And so the more the body is clean, is better. And as well, while doing the ayahuasca, if you prepare yourself properly, you can connect deeper. And that means deeper healing, getting to spaces, corners of yourself that you could probably not get to, or you would take like years to get to.
And with the plants, people often come away with a sense of the importance of their connection to nature. And that's a kind of part of the healing. Is that something that's found in the Shipibo worldview?
Claro, nosotros, por ejemplo, cuando hacemos la medicina, estamos conectados a la naturaleza, porque es el mundo.
Oh, he's saying yes, of course. When you do the medicine, you're actually connecting at a deeper level with nature. That's all you do. Like it's that simple, And he's saying because that's the world of the medicine. And he's saying to them, this is like a pharmacy. They don't go to the pharmacy. They can go if it's very difficult what they have, but normally they would just trust what they already have, their pharmacy. And he's saying that that's where everything, all the power is, all the knowledge of the medicine, in every single plant, in the way you treat the plant, or you drink the plant, or you do whatever mixture with the plant to drink it, or to take it, or to put it on your body. That's where all the healing is. And he's saying it's very important to connect to nature, because even with ayahuasca, when you're very, if you're in the world of the medicine, you would start seeing like trees and plants and paths that bring you into nature constantly. It's like at times ayahuasca can actually show you, or through dreams in your diets, for example, you can actually see like they'll teach you, you'll go somewhere in the jungle or something, and then you'll start seeing plants, and they'll start teaching you, oh, you can use this for the blood, you can use this for reuma, you can use this for diabetes. They show you, they teach you, they can actually teach you how to mix. Oh, if you mix this plant and this plant, actually ayahuasca came this way. Somebody had a dream, and they were like, okay, you mix this and you mix this, You put it together in this amount and this way, and then you give it to the natives, and you'll see, you know, or other medicines as well, like cambo, and yeah, there is all this fantastic, like nature just connects to us because we are nature. We forget at times, but we're animals.
Right. And with the you mentioned the origin of ayahuasca kind of coming through these experiences. Like in the kind of Western view, people have a kind of, I guess, like a reductionist view of these things. And what is the kind of I guess, yeah, what's the Shipibo like traditional view of these visions, like where they come from?
Es a través de los espíritus.
The way they see it is they can connect to nature through the spirits of nature. So what they do is they connect to the spirits, or the spirits connect to them, and then the spirits are the ones that guide you through this through this knowledge, or through this world of medicine. They are the ones teaching.
You mentioned the visions often are very natural. You see lots of plants and maybe animals. Like I hear people talk about snakes and jaguars. Is that common in your experience that people have these kinds of themes?
Claro, porque son los que protegen la naturaleza, ¿no?
These animals are the protectors of nature. Like he was saying that in their belief, like the snake will protect the water, for example. They have this belief that the snakes grow up in these big lakes, and they protect the lakes. And then he's saying as well the jaguar protects the earth. That's the place where he is. And he's saying it's like they are the guardians of all the medicine, of all the plants, of the land, of the water. And he is saying that even like this, humans, we're very much, in a way, disconnected, and we are destroying all of this. And they have been very destroyed, like lakes and places where these animals were, is just gone. And as well, he's saying that you can as well have medicine, or use the animals' medicine. So for example, with the snake, you can actually take the fat of the snake, and with this fat, you can heal like very hard pain bones. Or with like the bones of the jaguar, if you were to diet them, become very strong. Like you can carry lots of weight and become very old. That's what they do. And then the blood as well. Like you can use different things from the animals to be medicine. And he's saying that's why we connect to all of this. We connect to everything that has power and knowledge and can heal.
Right. And what kinds of reasons do people have for trying ayahuasca? Is it mainly healing?
Bueno, algunos vienen a hacer ayahuasca para sanar.
Normally people come to heal. That's a big part of the people come like asking for healing, or maybe as a last alternative to their healing. Some people just don't know where else to go, and they end up coming to do ayahuasca. And then there is other people who just come to experience, like people who may just, they want to see something, they want to prove something to themselves, like, oh, I think this happened to me, but I'm not sure, and like they want to see this, or they want to connect to things that they've read of, or that they thought of, or this happens as well quite a bit. At the end, everybody gets healing. This is what, is nice, because you can come for whatever reason, but you will receive healing. And then he's saying at times shamans, because normally the tradition is not for shamans to give medicine in general, like that's not the way traditionally it's done. But with this Western world wanting to know everything, and we want to see everything, so what happens is shamans give medicine to us. And he's saying we do this so you can actually see your own problems and where the blocks are and where the traumas maybe.
When you say that it's not traditional to give for the shaman to give medicine? What do you mean? Do you mean only the shaman takes the medicine?
Tradicionalmente era, pues, un paciente venía, solamente el maestro o el curandero tomaba su ayahuasca.
Traditionally, people would just come and they would tell their issues, or they would just sit there, and they would not give medicine to these people. They would just drink it, the shaman, and then the shaman would just see, explore what's going on, and then they would sing Icaros. Because with these Icaros, the Icaros are the healing songs, and with these Icaros, they come from the diets. So once you connect to the spirit just brings this information to you. And once you're healing somebody, there is no need for anything else. Like just the shaman with the Icaros, these Icaros have lots of power and wisdom. And like if we think of a spirit as a invisible kind of with no like air in a way, it can get through anything, it can go anywhere. So that's how the Icaro works. It goes in anywhere, everywhere. It's like any corner, anything is not a problem for them. And that's what the Icaros do. They just go deep in. So yeah, before there was no need for this.
Right. And so now, as you say, with the ceremonies, everybody drinks ayahuasca and Wiler sings the Icaros. And the shaman also drinks the ayahuasca as well, right?
Yeah, of course.
And the Icaros, are they the same? You said they come from the diet. Are they kind of improvised, or is there a set there's specific songs that are sung every time?
Bueno, Icaros, hay diferentes Icaros.
There's different Icaros from different plants. There is no, because you didn't get into this, but I would clarify, like there is no like set Icaro, like, oh, we'll start with this and then with this, and then the Icaro is always the same and with the same words. That's non-existent in the spiritual world, like, because every patient is different and everybody needs different kind of healing. But they do, they develop through the same kind of, like it's always gonna be the soul, the mind, the body, strengthen, to take away, to center. There is always like a common base, but there is the Icaro is not gonna be the same, never, I would say. And then he's saying that they all shamans, like the ones who really diet a lot and they have lots of knowledge, they can actually distinguish in between Icaros. So there is these Icaros who are good to strengthen the mind, the body. There is this Icaro who you can sing to and it gives, like, you can have normal birth, like women. Instead of being like in pain and all of this, they'll sing this Icaro and everything will just go very fluent. And then there is another one to love people, like they can connect people, partners, or lovers, to give luck, to sing for if a snake beats you, they have an Icaro for this specific one that will heal this thing. To be a good hunter, a good fisherman, but he was saying you really need to diet a long time to just like channel these things.
Right. And in the modern kind of ayahuasca retreats, what is the role of the shaman? Is it, when they're singing the Icaros, is it to kind of guide the group experience?
Mainly what they do is they guide people through their journeys. They control the effect of the ayahuasca. Like if you're very out of your own space, a good shaman would be able, with maybe 2-3 Icaros, just like put you in your space again, so you can keep on like traveling properly without losing control, and to protect everybody, so there is no safe space, and to give healing. That would be the 4 things.
Okay. And in the experience, it's very common for people to connect with a kind of feminine entity that people might call Mother Ayahuasca. Is that an important part of the experience or a common experience?
Claro, es importante porque tiene que conectar con la madre.
Yeah, of course, it is important because once you connect to this feminine energy, doesn't matter if you see it as a spirit or you just connect to it, that means you're connecting to the medicine. And once that happens, in that moment that you boom, open that door and meet with her, that's when everything starts. Like all the healing, all the experience, all the like deep knowledge starts. And he's saying that all the plants have their own spirit. Some of them are masculine, some of them are feminine. In this case, it's nice. Well, I don't know, like all the masculines are good, but like it's good that the ayahuasca is a feminine spirit, so she can, hug us all.
Yeah. And with the amount of ayahuasca people have, it seems some people can have a lot and not have a strong experience. Some people can have a small amount. Do you have a sense of why that is?
It depends on the body. I think he's talking about energetic body. It's like if the energetic body is clean, then with very little you will probably break through and open new realms. If the body is dirty, there is like heavy things, it'll be harder, so you really need to drink a lot to break through. So it depends on how you've been behaving through your life, I guess.
Right. And people often find that the purging is an important part of the process. Is that related to how heavy your body is?
Claro, por eso es la madre ayahuasca te saca.
Yeah, of course, it's part of the thing, because ayahuasca, what she does is she pushes it. She pushes it so it doesn't stay in the stomach. We tend to accumulate things in the stomach, and she doesn't like it because she cannot move freely, so she just pushes it. And he's saying, yeah, of course, the purge is important through the experience. I would like to clarify that the purge can happen in many ways. Like we're talking about the most popular one, this vomiting thing, but it can happen in different ways, and like it can even happen energetically. So you may not even suffer through the thing. It's just suddenly you see something leaving your body energetically. Like there is no need to go through the physical stuff. Even it's very usual to go through the physical stuff.
Right. And you mentioned earlier that there's a lot of smoking as well, and you smoke this Mapacho traditional tobacco. What role does that play in the ceremonies?
Uno, fumamos para poder conectarnos bien.
First, because Mapacho helps you connect, helps shamans connect to the medicine. Second is because it's very good protector. So through the ceremony, like there is so much energy, and we're dealing with, well, the shamans are dealing with all these heavy energies, and to protect themselves, they can smoke and they can set themselves. Even like before ceremony, you'll always see like shamans smoking to protect themselves. And then he's saying, and thirdly, to clean the space. When there is lots of energy, you smoke the Mapacho, and Mapacho just makes it all like calm and in place again.
Right. And then there's also the rapé snuff that's kind of blown up the nose before. What's that for?
En la cultura Shipibo nosotros no hacemos rapé.
The rapé is not in the Shipibo culture. And it's true, when I started to work in the jungle with Wiler, there was this other shaman who came from the Marses tradition. That's where we got this rapé thing from. So they use it in Brazil, they use it in many places, but in the Shipibo it's not popular. They have this other thing that it comes from a plant and a bark of a tree, And instead of like being dust, it's like liquid. So they use this as their own rapé, but in this sense, they don't have rapé. But it is true that when you use rapé before ceremony, it's very good for centering. It's very good to clear your mind, because at times you get into ceremony and you're so wrapped up in your own thoughts, expectations, desires, what's going to happen, fears, you know. And it's like Mapacho because it's made of Mapacho. So it clears your mind, and then it can connect you to a higher space. It's very good for meditation as well, to get into a meditation state before ceremony. So everything is kind of calm as possible. So you're fully ready to be open.
Right. And is it do you think it's a kind of positive thing that today we can mix different medicines from different traditions? Like, I think, is San Pedro something that's not traditionally Shipibo either?
Bueno, yo lo que puedo sugerir es que
in his perspective, like if it's gonna help, it's fine. Like he would not disagree with this if it helps the person and maybe the person wants to experience this thing. But when it comes to the Shipibo tradition and his way of thinking, he's saying if you fully want to receive the knowledge of ayahuasca, then stay with ayahuasca. If you fully want to receive the knowledge of San Pedro, then stay with San Pedro, you know, stay with the medicine that you fully want to receive the power from. I was gonna say that I would imagine for Mapacho it's different, because Mapacho and ayahuasca, they obviously go together. Like there is no, it's like a team.
Right. And also there's, I feel like there's now also the really positive combination of the traditional medicine with maybe more Western psychological things like the group shares and integration, which is something you bring as well, Tamara. So do you think that's a positive combination that's happening these days?
In his perspective, is very good, but he's saying it needs to be practiced by people who already know the medicine and who have been practicing the medicine for some time, but that's what you're going to be talking about, like the way the medicine works. And he's saying that he does agree that it's very good because you can actually settle and strengthen knowledge from the medicine that you may be like, I don't understand, and suddenly somebody comes with words and it's more clear to the mind. Because from my perspective, what I see is that the Western people is very much, we are all very much in our minds. That's where we work from. And it's difficult for us to go to the heart and to the basics, no? Like for them, the tradition is more in the basics, in the instincts. So the heart, whatever emotions arise, those are more, it's like they see them better. They're more conscious of them. Because we put so much power in the mind, suddenly we're just trying to explain everything, trying to understand everything. So for these experiences, at times they're very clear. Ayahuasca can be super clear. And through even intuition, you know things. But then the problem is that the mind starts doubting them, and you have to confirm them with somebody who kind of knows the medicine. So you're like, oh, but I kind of felt this. What do you think? And with words, you can be like confirming these things. But if we really truly listen to the medicine, like this, she's full of intuitions, and there is no real need for these confirmations and these words. But in the Western world, we do still need this.
And is it common after the experience for people to feel like they're still getting messages and intuitions and insights for a long time after they've taken the medicine?
Claro, porque es normal.
Yeah, it's very, very normal, because once you've done ayahuasca, you've entered this other realm where you're connected to spirits. And suddenly with this connection, you can start receiving these messages, because it's not like you didn't have them before. We all did. We had them, but they were blocked. They were in this space where things were like pushed down because life. And suddenly like these blockages are broken, are gone. So suddenly you're receiving this information like, oh, I never knew what to do with my life. And suddenly after ayahuasca, you have this clear vision, but that was there from the beginning. It's just that it was covered. So yeah, it's very, very normal, and it's really nice. And this is why it's very important, the integration process.
Right. And when it comes to dieting plants other than ayahuasca, I guess I'm interested in how that works. I think you said you can diet any plant, but do you just eat that plant? Do you eat it and like along with a simple diet? How does it work?
Para dietar una planta hay que prepararlo.
You don't eat it. What you do is you prepare the plant, and the way you do it, for example, if you want to diet a tree, you'll go into the jungle, you get the bark of the tree, like a piece of the bark, and then you put it in water, you cook it for as long as he may feel like, I don't know, like the shamans will prepare this for you. And then when it gets like the color or it gets the essence of this bark, then you drink the essence of the tree. With plants is a little bit different. Like you take the leaves of the plant, and then you what's the word now? Like, these machines that go like
like blending.
Yeah, you blend the plant with like the leaves with the water, and then you squeeze them so it's only the water left, and then you drink this. And after this, you have to keep on going with a very strict diet, like very like simple, no energy put in your body kind of thing, like rice or pasta, no salt, no oil, no sugar, no many foods. Like it's very, very basic. And then he was saying that you can diet for like 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. And depending on how long you diet, you will receive power and knowledge. Like there may be people who only diet for 1 month, and that's good for healing. You can heal yourself with this, but you will not be a shaman after you diet for 1 or 2 months. It's not enough time for the spirits to truly connect deeply with you. It's like for the healing, yeah, but to learn to be a shaman, no. And he's saying, but the longer you diet, the more you will receive, and the more you'll be able to know what the shamanism world is. And he's saying, so there is these 2 diets, the one to learn and the one to heal. And then, like if you're doing the healing diet, like a long time, the learning diet, sorry, you will heal through the process. Like it's necessary. If you're not in a good space, what are you going to give to others, right?
Right. And so ayahuasca seems very kind of special in how strongly it produces visions in people. But when people diet more ordinary plants, do they tend to have visions? And when you say the kind of the learning side of things?
Claro, porque las plantas te enseñan.
Yeah, of course. When you do diets, they open your visions as well, and they open your motivation, your creativity. Like they can open all these spaces within ourselves that may be blocked. And he's saying it's not only ayahuasca. The diet is the one that shows you. And so often with shamans, it's not the ayahuasca the one that teaches, like the one that allows them to see what's going on with other people. Like that's the portal, is the space where you're gonna enter and you're gonna be able to see. But it's the actual diets, the ones that come, and it's like they throw images at you, like, oh, look at this and look at this and look at it. And the more you diet, the deeper you can get into people. You can get to the root of their problems, or yeah.
Right. And maybe to end on the ayahuasca is becoming this global phenomenon now, which comes with lots of positives but also negatives. How do you feel about how widely the medicine is spreading around the world?
Bueno, yo creo que la medicina, la madre ayahuasca por todo lado está ahora.
It's very good, and it's getting very popular because it has real powers of healing powers. So in that side, he's like very happy about it. So am I. And he's saying that the only thing that he would say to people And to anybody who's going to be doing ayahuasca is to do it with somebody who actually knows what they are doing, you know, who has deep knowledge with the plants and how to be in the space with the plants, how to manage these spaces. And he's saying that because some people only use it for business, and when you are only using it for business, at times you're not that committed to this healing, you know. It's like, I'm gonna give it to you because it's accessible to me, but I'm not sure I will be able to do the work I'm saying I'm gonna do. And this is very dangerous because because we're not talking about going to the mechanic and then you went and the car, oh, the I don't know, the wheel is like, oh, it's not, it's like, okay, but then you cannot turn on the car, and that's the end of that, you know. It's like, that's as far as it goes. But here we're talking about the soul, and when it comes to the soul, that that guides your full life. So if the soul is in a good space and you can have your mind clear and you feel strong and motivated and creative and all of these things, your life will improve. But if you're not doing it with the proper person, and then you remember, you're very open in this space, so any kind of energy can get to you. So suddenly you feel worse, you feel depressed, you feel things are not going well, you have no clarity, and all these things can happen if you don't do it in a proper set like with the proper set, and obviously with the proper setting.
And also, I may, if you don't mind, I might share one of the recordings of the Icaros at the end of the interview. And I was just wondering, I've never really thought what the words are like what is actually being sung about, you know, what kind of themes and words are being sung.
Hay muchas cosas que hablamos ahí, ¿no? Uno es centrar, conectar.
In a general view, it would be like he would be singing to centering the person, centering the mind, the body, the energy around the aura kind of thing, to connect all of this to God, all the goodness that we already have, like just connect it to source, and to work on the body, like to work on the energetic body, right? It's like, so he's saying what mostly he does is he cleans bad things like traumas, maybe drugs that you've been doing in your life, accidents, things that happened to you that that made an impact, you know, mostly a negative impact. And after that, he obviously clears your mind, strengthens your mind, the body, the soul. It connects to like purpose, to your purpose. It connects to all these beautiful things, and it connects you to the medicine. It opens the realms of the medicine, and in those realms, like anything is possible, anything. So that's in general. This would be
right. And behind you, Tamara, I just realized you have a traditional Shipibo patterned decoration. Those designs come from the visions of ayahuasca?
No solamente de ayahuasca.
These designs are made by the women, mostly of Shipibo, and what they do is they put the drops in their eyes of this plant called piripiri. They have many piripiris. You can't imagine how many piripiris they have for anything. And this specific one is just, they put it and then it opens their visions and their creativity. And they do these things, they see it, like when they are using this, they can see this in front of them, and then they just put it in their tapestries and the clothes and all of this. And he's saying that not only comes from this, but it comes from the diets, the different plants that you're dieting. They all have their own colors and their own different patterns. And as well with the ayahuasca, it's very common to, when you're very connected to the medicine, you can see these patterns all around the healing space or in your body, or like you can see these things. And as well, it's like he's saying that that's the way we work. What we do with these patterns, these patterns mean things. It's not just beautiful paintings. It's like they mean happiness, they mean love, they mean creativity, they mean all these things. So what they do is they install these patterns in every single one of us, like in our minds, in our bodies. If we could actually see our spiritual self after an ayahuasca treatment, you would see that your whole body is full of these beautiful patterns, your legs, your everything. And as well, he's saying that with this, we put in the heart, we open the heart, like, so we give all this love that comes from these plants, from these patterns, what they represent, and we put it in the people. So when they go home, they feel much more open, much more loving, much more happy, it's like, oh God, I don't know what happened, but something happened. These things are just working there.
Right.
It's like they are changing. Imagine we had like this all drawings from our lives, and suddenly they are just like repainting this. It's really nice.
Yeah. You said it was piri piri. It's not a chili pepper, is it?
A what?
A chili pepper? There's a chili pepper called piri piri, but that sounds like it would be painful to put in the eyes.
No. Wiler dice que si es pimentón picante lo que se pone en los ojos, el piripiri.
No es picante.
No.
Okay.
No es picante, es un líquido, ¿no? Pero arde un poco, pero te dan las visiones, te abren visiones.
Yeah, he's saying no. It can hurt a little bit, but no.
Okay. So if people want to book a retreat with you, where can they find you?
If they want to look at our website, it's www.ayahuascaspiritcenter.com. And we're hoping with this COVID thing and all, it's been a little bit difficult, but we're hoping to be doing retreats in Europe. And the center in Peru is open at the moment. Wiler is over there. So if anybody feels the call for it and they want to do it in a most traditional way, yeah, we are very open for it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. I've told the audience that I worked with you guys, and I am deeply, deeply grateful for that and for spending your time today. So thank you, Tamara, and gracias, Wiler.
Thank you, James. Dice que él nos recomienda a la gente que nos ve, que le vea a él, y dice que está muy agradecido por todo y muy agradecido por pasar tiempo con nosotros hoy también.
Ok. Claro, ¿no? Es muy bueno. Me ha ayudado mucho también a fortalecer un poco de la conversación que tuvimos, ¿no? Hoy día. Algo importante para mí y seguir hacia adelante con la medicina, ayudando a la gente.
Yeah, he's saying that thank you very much for this conversation. It strengthened him, all the things that we talked about. It strengthened his mind. And he's saying that thank you for your help. What's left for us is just to keep on going with the medicine, helping people.
Great. Yeah, that's a great point to end on.
Yeah, and from me as well, James. It's very nice to see you, to talk to you, even in this distance. But I felt you very close. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you both. Gracias again.
Gracias.
Shinabora vivo sonda, aronge cair, raro gan sonda, bewa gan sonda, bana tanada, me yora ore sonda. Mi shina ore sonda, mi ya no majora, mi ya aso no rogi, aso enita, shina bora no nibo, Yorabo Rabo Nibo Habo Webo Soroki Mia Viva Idan Sonda Mea ponte son vanoti, Shina ponte son nida, Shina na ponichinida, Yoda na ponichisonda, Mia sonikita, Ini no mato wabo, Bewa botanida. Shina sama bote vida, yora sama bote vida, minka ya boruki, bibu geranta naraka, shina bi mabanoroka, yora bora bi mabuso, meya sawe mabanoro. Sawe ma yontana ida, shina sepa yosunida, yora bora sepa sonro, hoente bukayara, sepa banginida, sepa yosobano ida, haidi bibewa sonra. Bewaga katanaraka me ko winti ai sobi sochi na boga sobi da teton na boga sobi da me ya so wa bo solida so wa bangini da ha koma boruki Hakoma bonete wanda me shina mapo abu me yora mapo abu hasta bo ekavida no ra okano banda ra ho ibanda me de gani bewa sonda Meya asobanoroki asonera ikaida netego di panisonda niwe o di panisonda hoa o di panisonda shina o di panisonda meya ronki hoa ida Owane te gori buta, owane ori buta. Hoe wa ekironki, shinara roki rani, yora bana kirani. Hakuwa kinichi sonta, ponte ga kinichi sonta. Enke mi ya kano sonra, kano bo tantana ira.